One prohibition for tonight, and it is the last one I'll ever give you. Do not read the sheets. You built them last night. They're sitting right there. 3 sheets: the geometry tally, the void overlay, the score sheet, and 20 minutes with them, and you would know more or less what your 30 days added up to. Do not. And the reason is precise. And by now, you can probably derive it yourself. Tonight's session is one of the sessions being counted. If you read the sheets first, you sit down at that table already knowing the verdict, knowing that your voids have clustered in the lower right 22 times, knowing that your satellite pattern is 1 session away from surviving or dying. And then you place the cards. You would be voting in your own election. The final data point in a month-long study contributed by an observer who has just read the interim results and knows exactly what he needs to see. It is the same rule as the sealed lexicon. It is the same rule as the map freeze. It is the same rule as step 0. You have obeyed it for 29 days in one form or another, and it does not stop applying tonight, simply because tonight is nearly the end. Run the session. Then, if you like, read the sheets, but in that order and never reverse. You have one more night of not knowing. It is the last thing the method will ask of you, and it is the easiest thing it has ever asked. Let me tell you what you actually built this month, because tomorrow you're going to look at the findings, and there is a real risk you will mistake them for the product. You did not build a notebook. You built a machine that does not care what you want. That is the thing. That is what 29 days of map freezes and disconfirmation lines and honest misses and voided threads and unwanted results actually assembled. And I want you to see how rare it is, because you're about to hold it in your hands and you may not recognize it. Almost nobody has one. Most people in this field, most people in any field, have a set of beliefs about themselves and a collection of experiences that support those beliefs, and no mechanism whatsoever for finding out that they are wrong. Their instrument agrees with them. It has always agreed with them. It will agree with them until they die. With Spatial Sight, you have an instrument that has told you no, repeatedly, on the record, in your own handwriting. The findings may be small: 2 stables, 1 void that held, a blind spot in the upper left. That is a modest yield, and I have never pretended otherwise. The machine is not small, and tonight is the last time you get to run it before you find out what it produced. So run it properly one more time, as though it were an ordinary Tuesday and nothing depended on it, because that is exactly the condition under which it works, because you have 29 nights of practice at doing precisely that. Your drill. And you will notice that it is identical to day 14 because it is supposed to be. 1. Question in step 0, written before the shuffle in plain language. Genuine. Apply the test. If the geometry says the opposite of what I want, will I write that down? 2. Somatic baseline. Touch log. Place the cards. Draw the map. Freeze it. 3. The sweep. Every region in the fixed order, occupied or empty, and mark the region you almost skipped. This is the 4th and final mark. 4. Full trunk. Cluster as a unit. Isolate 4th. Void last. Disconfirmation line before you know how it lands. 5. Score your declared test. This is the final data point. Do not adjust the threshold. You set it on day 25 before you knew, and that is the only thing that makes it worth anything. 6. Do not read the sheets. Close the book, go to bed. That is the last ordinary session of your practicum. Tomorrow, my friend, bring everything. All 30 maps, the 3 sheets, and the notebook, which by now is a real object with a month of your life in it. Tomorrow we count, and then, only then, we read. That is day 29, and that is the last ordinary session. The last session is not a ceremony, it is a session. Same 5 steps, same frozen map, same disconfirmation line, and it counts for exactly as much as day 14, which is to say 1. Nothing about tonight is special, and that is the point of it. It has been the point of the entire month. Do not read the sheets. Run the session first, because tonight is one of the sessions being counted, and a person who reads the interim results before contributing the final data point is voting in his own election. One more night of not knowing. It is the last thing this method will ask of you. And I want to leave you with the last words of the book, which I wrote at the end of a long process and which I have been saving for tonight. That is the practice. Return to it whenever the table is in front of you. Read the conditions on that sentence because there are none. Not return to it when you need answers. Not return when you have a question worth asking or when something in your life demands it or when you feel ready. Whenever the table is in front of you. The practice does not wait to be needed. That is what makes Spatial Psy.D a practice rather than a resource. You sit down on the flat weeks and on the weeks when nothing is happening and on the Tuesdays when you would rather not, and that is not the price of the good sessions. That is the thing itself. Tomorrow, bring all 30 maps. You're not asked to believe, you're asked to record. I'm Dr. Rivka Edery, author of Spatial Psy.D, and I'm signing off on day 29. I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow on day 30. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye for now.